afternoon, family, and welcome once again to another Family Talk Live with the Dookies. We are very blessed to be back with you today. As you probably noticed, that we have been missing for 4 weeks.
Yeah, about 4 weeks.
Yes. So the past 4 weeks have been very um, trying. So we're gonna get into that. And so for those who are joining us for the first time, I am Sunny Dookie, and this is Courtney
Courtney Dookie.
Dookie, and we're both Christian marriage and parenting coaches. And we're also both psychotherapists in our private practice here, but we're the founders of Dookies Institute, an organization that is dedicated to reaching out to and supporting families that are on the brink of breaking, Christian families that are on the brink of breaking. And we show you through scripture and through our work in interpersonal neurobiology on how to heal your relationship with your spouse and also with your children. So that's really what Dookies Institute is all about. And so, as you probably know by now, on Mondays, we generally come on here just to talk with you. So if you're here, let us know you are and say hello, say hi, and thank you. Thank you so much. It's good to be back. So let us know where you're joining us from. And we also want to hear from you as we're having this conversation today. Do you have anything to say?
Oh, just to add to what you're saying, that the last 4 weeks has been very challenging, and we'll talk more about that. And even in regards to the theme we're talking, or the topic we're talking about
Yes.
today, and how that plays into what we've experienced
Oh my gosh.
over the past 4 weeks.
For
And
the
I know
week.
people out there wondering, hey, what are you guys talking about? Just say what you
What
need to say.
happened?
But yeah, the last 4 weeks has been, I would say, traumatic in many ways.
Traumatic. Yes.
But it's God is good.
Yeah.
That He came through it
Yes.
with strength, and I guess still recovering in many ways.
Yes. So today's topic is, can two walk together unless they agree? That's a strange topic, but we really wanted to share from more than our heads today. We wanted to share from our hearts because myself and me and Courtney, we realized how much important it is when a husband and wife have each other's back, and when we're there to support each other. So that's really what we wanted to talk about today, and we're going to share some tips from things that we do, how we do it, how we actually do it, to support each other, and how we reap the benefit
Yeah.
from supporting each other. So I think we're gonna start out with actually telling you guys what we've been up to the past 4 weeks. What have we been up to the past 4 weeks?
Uh, what happened is that I got COVID.
Yes, he brought something home. He brought something home. I told him, like, the next time you bring something home, it should be like money or something. Anyways,
Yes, so I got COVID, and that threw me down for a good solid
yeah,
2 weeks,
3 weeks, I'd
3 weeks
say.
at least. And then the latter part of that COVID experience, I developed pneumonia,
Mm-hmm.
which was what made things exponentially worse. And so, as I said, it was a difficult 3 weeks there. But this is where the topic we're talking about today comes to life. Can two walk unless they agree? And we chose, at least, this verse taken from Amos chapter 3 and verse 3, because I must say that throughout this time, my wife is very, I know she's very supportive, but
Cheerleader.
it took some extra strength from her during this time when I was out with COVID, and I must say I really appreciate the way how she handled herself, how she took care of me. Man, I can tell her when I'm sick, I'm a wimp, and when I'm sick, I'm really a wimp. But this was no normal sickness. Normal sickness, I'm a wimp, really a wimp. But this was a normal sickness, and sometimes for me personally, it was so powerful to have a wife that was so supportive. I remember one night when I was burning. And for those who have experienced COVID, and if you've never experienced it, don't try to experience it.
No, we don't recommend. Don't try it at home,
Don't
please.
try it. One night, man, I was burning. Literally, I was sweating, and all of a sudden, I just feel some cold cloth start to turn off my face and my neck. All of a sudden, my wife, she put on some stuff, and she was braving it coming in there to attend to me because she recognized that I was in such a bad shape. And I really appreciated that, and that kind of support. Um, yeah, it's one in a million, guys. And when we talk about relationship and how to build our relationship, this is what we call in sickness and in health. When she braved that thing, came into that room and attend to me in ways I couldn't even move during that time, and just the way how she stood up, she supported me. I could feel at nights I'm sleeping and there is someone coming to touch. She should be
Guys, we
sleeping too,
have to
right?
check in, you know?
She's checking in. Is he breathing? And and this could be I've gone to bed probably 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 2, 3 times throughout the night I feel this little hand touching me, going across my face, checking if I'm breathing or checking my temperature. It was a rough time, but just to have a supportive wife, someone who is there, and the way how again, the way she handled this, then handled 2 children on top of that. Guys, she's my hero, and the way how
Aw.
she took care of that, that was powerful, and that's how we chose to just talk about this today, to be open with this, because sometimes marriage is fun, but sometimes we hit challenging patches. We hit
Mm-hmm.
difficult times,
Yeah.
and we know COVID is no ball game. Some people get it and it's light symptoms. For me, it wasn't light symptoms. Maybe it wasn't extreme as other people, but for me, that was extreme. And just to have her there and supporting me, but also supporting the children and being present for the children, I think really that's where marriage um that's where marriage put to the test. That's when we know for in sickness and in health, for better or for worse. Again, you may look at this and say, oh, that's just sickness and someone is there for you, but the fact is that when we're there for each other, it makes healing more comfortable.
Yeah.
It makes being ill more comfortable, meaning that that support, that connection is powerful when it comes to the healing process.
Yes. Thank you, Rolando. And I think for me, it was stressful, and I was very worried. So many pictures went through my mind of what the possibilities could be, and how I would possibly deal with it, especially when we had to call for the ambulance to come in and get my husband and take him to the hospital. Um, it's it was very heartrending just to see how helpless he was there, and it was really, I wouldn't wish this for anyone at all. And my tendency when I'm really stressed is to shut down, but I'm very thankful for all the family and friends who called. We had a lot of calls and texts and people checking in, and that helped me to process, because I'm one who goes into a cocoon. I'm that type of person. I go into a cocoon when I'm going through something, because I go in, I whatever is happening, and then I emerge. But this time around, everyone was calling, and yes, Rolanda, I see you there. was calling, checking in, see how I'm doing and how he was doing. And that's the other thing too, is when you have really good friends in your life. I had people who was really willing to go and pick things up from the store for us, to bring food for us. People were on standby to get things for our home, and we're very thankful for that. And it really made my load lighter as well. And is it a sequel or a twist or whatever, I don't know, but anyways, I got the COVID. Like, I'm like, okay, well, if you're gonna get COVID, maybe I get it too. I don't know if that's what I was doing. Anyways,
Was
so
willing to share, but yeah, she wasn't something I wanted to share. That's one part of my life I never want to share with her. But
might as well. So I got it, and by that time he was up a little bit. He was up a little bit, so I had the chance to just go and lie down, rest, and whatever I needed to do to recover. Um, but we're really, really thankful for our friends, and we're thankful for all the people who really checked in, and every other minute or 5 minutes, or like somebody's texting, calling us to find out what's going on. I'm sorry, guys, I didn't take pictures. I really, like, why would you take picture if somebody's suffering, struggling? Like, I don't have the time for that. So I don't have pictures, unfortunately. And we're generally private. So this is a big deal for us to actually share on social media. But we wanted to share this to encourage you, um, that this is building a united family and building a supportive team. For myself and Courtney, we are a team. If people who know us, who are very close to us, they know if if anything we're doing, we're boosting the other up. I am Courtney's biggest cheerleader, and you'll never hear us in public or anywhere else talking against the other person or putting the other person down. We don't do that at all. If a group of people are sitting down and making jokes and all that stuff, you can guarantee that both of us, we're on the same team. If friends are joking around and all that stuff, we're on the same team, making joke with everybody else. But that's how much of a team that we are. And so we wanted to share that with those who are listening today, because we're also aware and we have seen where, because the husband and the wife, they are working
against
against
each
each
other.
other, we have seen where families break apart. We've seen where, because one individual or one spouse is trying to move up the ladder, whatever ladder it is, whether it's work promotion, education, just self development, personal development, spiritual development, and the other person is not there yet, but they're not really happy about it. I don't know if it's not happiness, or it's just being scared, or just not knowing how to congratulate and push the other
Each other.
person up. We've seen where it has torn people down.
Actually, and I tend to go back to his work because John Gottman,
Mm-hmm.
who has done over, I guess it's over 4 decades of research, one of the things he talked about that couples use to bring each other down is unfulfilled dreams.
Yeah.
When a couple, they should be working together to for each person to accomplish their dreams, and whatever those dreams are, their desires. And also he talked about, so we're going to talk about the dream, but they also talk about how couples support each other in moments of illness and different things.
Mm-hmm.
And generally speaking, when you look at the work of John Gottman and how we talk about how the kind of ways we support each other, can we listen to each other, can we hear the dreams behind certain things? And as you were mentioning there, do we pull each other down or do we build each other up?
Mm-hmm.
We pull each other down when we're not supportive of each other's dream. Again, my dream might be a little bit different from Sanya's dream,
Yeah.
but and then her dream might be a little bit different from what I perceive to be a dream. But the fact is
Mm-hmm.
that she supports me in my dream and I support her in her dream, and we don't pull each other down. And this is a big thing, as you mentioned it there in relationships. And again, going back to the text that we've chosen to at least as they talk in peace for
Yes.
our discussion today, and for couples and families who are listening and tuning into us today, really, can two people walk together unless they agree?
Mm-hmm.
Again, agreement doesn't actually, the word agreement doesn't actually mean that I am going, I have to
We're always saying yes,
yes to
like
certain things,
we, yes.
right? It's not a yes yes kind of
Because
a
we
thing.
don't. We
Right.
we don't. Whenever we're trying to make a decision or a hubby wants to do, I'm the objective. Is it objective? I'm the one that says, okay, so if we do this, what's gonna happen here? And so it doesn't mean that you're always going to be
Saying
saying yes.
yes.
That if you're always saying yes to the other person, something is wrong there. It means
Yeah.
that somebody's identity is getting trampled
Yeah.
over or being pushed on the back burner or something. So when we talk about can two walk together unless they agree, um, we're really talking about can two walk together unless they can peacefully work through their issues. They can um, learn how to compromise. They can learn how to make decisions where, at the end of the day, the relationship is not being
That's
destroyed.
right. Yeah.
Things like those we have to look at.
Okay. And the key thing is the relationship.
Hmm.
When we get into a marriage or get into a family, the relationship is, again, the relationship doesn't negate my individual growth, my individual development, and
Yeah.
my own personality and thing. But the relationship is crucial, and it needs nutrients. It needs attention, and oftentimes what I've seen in many families is that there's more negative attention
Hmm.
than positive attention in the relationship.
That's so true.
And
That's so
again,
true.
going back to what the Gottman said, they prescribe, if we want a prescription, that in our relationship, in our interaction with each other,
Hmm.
either it's in health, in sickness, or for money, or for career choices, or for difficult, whatever we're going through in our marriage, we need to seek to
Yes.
have five positive. So earlier we're talking about what can recommend. What we recommend is five positive for every single negative.
Hmm.
So we call it the 5-to-1 ratio. And people will say to me, man, I can't even find five positive things in my relationship. I said, no, there's more than five.
Yeah.
If you just sometimes what happened, the one problem, we'll put that in quotation, whatever that is, again, sometimes that one, we started off by talking about our experience with COVID-19, but some people may have a lifelong illness,
Hmm.
and sometimes that could be a struggle with a mental health challenge, or it could be a physical health challenge.
Yes.
But that becomes a perpetual
Issues.
problem,
Yeah.
issue in the relationship.
Yeah.
And the way how we, sometimes because of that one or two perpetual issues, we make a big deal out of them because they're so salient in the relationship that we forget all the other positive things in the relationship.
Hmm.
And we call this gratitude. I think in one of the things we're going to talk about, a challenge we have coming up.
Yeah.
One of the principles that we tend to highlight in this challenge with Sanya and myself, we'll talk more about this at the end of our program, but it is the power of gratitude,
Hmm.
is finding those small things to be grateful for,
Yeah.
because when we are grateful, it releases certain chemicals in our brain that can help us
Hmm.
to deal more effectively with that big salient problem that we've
Yes.
been focusing on.
And I just want to bring that out too, because with what we have experienced over the weeks, I can't forget our children as well. Mom was stressed, like I wasn't doing well, but the children were so they were playful, they had energy, they were laughing, they were doing all these things. And I think it's because of what we generally cultivate in them as well. They generally have a good mood, generally. Like sometimes, kids, but I think it's because we generate like a good mood with them, and having a spirit of gratitude and just looking at the positive and so forth. They were able to deal with this whole few weeks. They couldn't go close to their dad for weeks, and then after that, I had to, they couldn't go close to me as well because at the time I wasn't doing well either. And my son is very touchy person. He likes to hug and just come and sit and be quiet with, still with you. And I could see where they were struggling. They really had a hard time. They were very worried. But at the same time, I think because we have programs in them to be positive, and I we talked about it. We kind of,
Yeah, that was
listen to
big.
them. Yeah, we
Big.
talk. We like, how are you feeling? Are you worried about that? And they talk about COVID and wish it wasn't here. And I empathize. We talked about it. I believe that that really helped them as well to cope with the situation. And that's something I always share with my parents, is that we can prevent a lot of whining sometimes and negativity from our children based on what we cultivate in them, and just based on what Courtney's saying there. Like, if we practice a spirit of gratitude and just giving thanks, how we talk as adults,
Yes.
right? What comes out of our mouth? Is it mostly complaining and finding faults and criticizing and talking down or on ourselves or talking down on the other? That's what the household is going to be
Be
like. That's what the relationship is going to be like. And we're going to have a home that is very miserable, especially when hardship come our way. It's going to be harder
deal with.
that to deal with than if we generally end each day thinking about the positive
Us.
stuff.
And the other thing about that too, children tend to appear to misbehave more and be more dysregulated, if we put
They
it this way,
do, yes.
when their parents are struggling with something.
Yes.
But the thing about it, oftentimes, why that happens is that, I think I hear this so many times. Parents, like what we went through again, contextually, going to put this what I'm saying in context. Um, we said they don't need to know this. We don't need to talk to them about this. They're
Hmm.
just children, and how is it going to relate to them? But remember, in their own way,
Yeah.
they see mom and dad struggling with something, whatever that is. For us, it was COVID recently, but for you, maybe it's something else, and you're going to help them to understand it at the level they are.
And
Notice,
process it.
underline the phrase "at the level they are."
Yeah.
Help them to process that, put words to it, the kind of words that they, their own vocab to it.
Yeah.
And when they do that, their anxiety will go
Go
down. It
down.
doesn't take it away altogether, because they're still gonna worry about mom and dad, and when they can connect back on whatever's going to mom and dad or their caregivers, if that's not mom and dad taking care of them.
Yeah.
But when they understand it at their level, they're able to better process the
Hmm.
anxiety. And when they can process the anxiety and a better understand what's going on with them when we're talking to them, and they can name what they're going through,
Hmm.
it makes it so much easier for them to manage the entire situation. And
Yes.
that's what we saw with both our children,
Yeah, we
that
did a lot of that, and
talking with them.
I was vocal with how I was feeling too, like very tired and frustrated and all that stuff. And um, so we talked. We were very real with each other. So, those are the things that we just wanted to share. That when, I mean, everybody's situation is
Different.
different, and it could have been worse. It could have been worse, and we're really thankful for. We're really, God pulled us through this one. He
Yeah.
did pull us through this one, and all the prayers we received and all the prayers we did. But at the same time, it just shows the power of friendship in a marital relationship, and friendship in a family unit. That at the end of the day, that really does help to make things much easier when you're going through tough time. And this is something that we wanted to encourage you, that today, if you're not friends with your husband, or if you're not friends with your wife, this is something that we implore you to start working on
Friendship.
today. You're missing out on something. It's more than just cohabitating and reproducing and balancing bills.
Mhm.
And it's much more than that. You're missing out on the true meaning of the union of God, what God wants it to be. It's time for relationships, spouses, to stop fighting against each other, stop pulling the other person down. Lift each
Each other
other
up.
up with your words, with your encouragements. Lift each other up by supporting them and not putting them down. We need to lift each other up. Spend time, listen to the other person's dream and aspiration. Like, guys, if you ever hear my recent conversation with my husband, he's like, I was afraid of telling him something recent that I dream of. And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. Sure, why not? Go right ahead, right? I was like, whoa, oh my gosh. He's very supportive, even though it sounds crazy, but it really is what makes me appreciate him so much. And I can say, because of how he has been supportive in my life, it has helped me to grow as a person. It has helped me to aspire for the highest. And I can tell from just encouraging him as well, because he always come to me and he's like, what do you think about this? And just encouraging him and saying, hey, yeah, for sure, and let's think out of the box. Let's just push further with this. I can see where he is very successful in a lot of areas, things that he takes on, and when he's successful, the family is successful, and that's how we do it. That's the
How it should
secret,
be done.
right? I mean, we're not like successful in everything, but we're happy. We're content because we encourage each
Each other.
other and we push each other, we support each other. And that's something that we want to encourage you to do as well. That is actually something that we talk about so much in our work with couples. And when talking about parents as well,
Yeah.
parenting, that's something we talk about in our parenting, their teens and so forth, because when one member of your family wins, everybody
Everybody wins.
wins. And that's how it should be done.
I know, Sana, as you know, as we come to the end today, and as we say, thank you to all those people who've been listening and tuning in with us today. Um, we're starting a challenge because we believe that there should be what I call a family reset.
Yes, we're doing one. We're doing a reset,
A reset, and it's a family reset, and it's a challenge. And can you tell us more about that challenge?
Okay, so we are starting our family reset challenge. It starts June 20th. So we don't have a lot of time, but this is going to be happening only in our Facebook group. I know, yes, we have our Facebook page and our YouTube platform and our Instagram, but this challenge will only be in the Facebook group,
Group.
which is Empowering Christian Families. So if you're interested in being a part of this challenge,
Challenge.
just type in, and we'll probably put the link below here, that you can go click on it, ask to join the group, and you are in. So for this challenge, we're going to be going through 10 core principles that we have found when implemented by the family unit. It really helps to restore so many things in a family life. We're talking about communication, we're talking about building mutual trust and respect, we're talking about
Gratitude.
gratitude, having the conversations that helps to build a good family foundation. Those are stuff that we'll be doing. And for this challenge too, we're going to put a fun twist to it, where it doesn't matter the age of the individuals in your family. It could be just the husband and the wife. We're going to put a fun twist to it. You may have younger children. So a big part of my job as a therapist is I do a lot of art based work in my therapy work. And so that will be also included in it. So where you and your children can be having this conversation while you're having fun.
Fun.
And you're building something as a family unit. So we're inviting you to participate in this challenge.
Challenge.
And
How
there
long will the challenge be for?
the challenge is a 10-day challenge, and we're
Mhm.
going to be going through 10 core principles each day. Both of us will be meeting 10 to 15 minutes in the group. We'll be introducing this core biblical principle to you. We'll be introducing the different steps and strategies that we want you to start implementing, and also action items that we want the family to do for that day. So
Okay.
by the end of the 10 days, there is going to be a family reset. Your family is going to be like, Erks, okay, all right, let's do this, you know.
And just to clarify, so we're gonna if the husband and wife can join this alone,
Yes,
or a mother and children can join
yes,
it, or a father and children.
yes.
So it doesn't matter the composition of your family. It's
Hmm.
a family reset.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter what the composition of your family is. You can be a part of this challenge. I will encourage you to become a part of it
Yeah.
and invite somebody to be a part of it. And as Sanya said, we can get you connected over into our Facebook group because that's where the challenge.
And we're gonna have a giveaway as
Yes.
well. So if you want to participate, we would love that. For those who are not in the group already, is invite others. If you invite 5 or more people to be a part of this challenge, or families, not different families, not your family, like, you know, a family of 6, and you're like, okay, everybody come over. No, 5 different families to be a part of this challenge. We'll be giving away an Amazon gift card. And also, when you're in the challenge itself, over the course of 10 days, we'll be encouraging people to share what they're doing, share pictures and all that stuff. And for the family or two who, or families who have participated in all of the challenges, you will be getting a free consult from both of us,
Yes.
live and in living color. Um, and how much is that worth? Okay, we won't put it there. But so that is what's going on. So spread the word. This is free. You don't have to pay to come to this challenge. It is free, and you'll be doing somebody a favor by introducing them to it and encouraging them to be a part of it. How about a whole group of family doing it together, right? Create an excitement, and let's see how you want somebody to do well, a family to do well. You want them to be nurtured and restored. Invite them to be a part of this challenge. So that is in our group, Empowering Christian Families. And we look forward to meeting you June 20. We look forward to seeing you there. And we just want to thank you for joining us today. Until next Monday, same time, same place, we wish for you a very, very blessed week. Take
Take
care.
care. Bye bye.